What's up, everybody? I'm Wayward Jessica, and this is Not Your Safe Zone. So tonight, I don't know if you noticed the theme, but we're going to be continuing the conversation about social injustice. Look, this thing don't want to stay on my big ass head. We are going to be continuing the conversation about social injustice in nerd culture. Social justice. Jesus, I can't do nothing right. Anyhow, um, so let me introduce our panelists of lovely people tonight. We have Nola Creole VB. We have Leslie the Power Ranger. We have Miss Cincy Taz. And we have Tia My Loves. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm amazing. I am just so humbled to be on this panel tonight with these amazing people. So, excuse me if throughout the night I start gushing.
Look, gush all you want, babe. Gush all you want.
I'm gonna give my input, but if y'all start seeing me like smile a whole lot and start gushing, because never in my life did I think that I was gonna be on this panel. So, excuse me.
Nah, you good. You good. Tia, V, Leslie, how are y'all doing tonight?
I'm ready to talk about why Slytherin is not that bad.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into
I'm just so ready for this. This. I'm excited for just Harry Potter-ness, period, honestly.
Well, we're not just talking about Harry Potter. We have Taz over here, who is, from the backdrop that I've seen numerous times, is probably our local Star Wars expert.
Oh, I am Star Wars, DC, Marvel, Black Sands.
Yes.
My thing is, I moved to where I moved. People watching, don't judge me. Actually, judge me all you want. I moved to where I moved because there's like a 6,000-foot comic book store up the street from where I live. I'm not gonna lie. I'm that level of blurred. I am that level of blurred.
Look,
so I have DC, I have Marvel, I have the action figures, I have Star Wars, I have Black Sands. Ask away. I can probably answer it for you.
Look, we finna get into it tonight.
You know what? As a matter of fact, let's go upstairs.
Oh,
because I'm sitting down. I'm sitting downstairs. Let's not sit down here. Let's go upstairs because I saw the show where the men got to flex and the men got to talk about what they know. And even though I enjoyed the show, there were a lot of the men that were not, contextually correct. Oh, and we all know.
Am I hearing some shade, babe?
Because of who I am, I always do what I do and I say what I say. So hold on, let me put this down because let's start with the collection. And then, you see my baby Groot, right? But let's. Oops.
Yes.
Did I pull that in?
Yes. I love it.
So let's talk from here. Let's talk from the office because I was and my sip Tia can tell you, I was very methodical in putting together my office because I needed to pull the energy.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Because I needed my Black Widow.
Oh, yeah.
I needed my Red Witch.
So hold on. We didn't get to.
I needed my Storm.
Hold on. So all of y'all have been on here before, except for Miss Leslie Power Ranger. Do you want to introduce yourself, girl? Tell us. Why don't you tell us your name, what you do, and give me your top 3 favorite fandoms.
Yeah. Hi. My name's Amelia. Leslie Power Rangers, I'm a lesbian and I love Power Rangers. And So that's kind of like where that handle came from. But I'm in healthcare. I work in healthcare, and my 3 favorite fandoms. I've been thinking about this question a lot because you asked the guys it. And so I'm thinking Legend of Korra, Naruto, and Star Trek. So those are my, I mean, they're all kind of problematic and have a lot of like ridiculous people in them. But
I mean, I feel like if it's something that a lot of people like, it's problematic in some way.
yeah.
However, I am shocked to hear that you prefer Legend of Korra to Avatar: The Last Airbender. You think Korra is a better hero than Aang?
I identify with Korra more. I have made a lot of videos about it on my TikTok. But like I think I like what she does resonates with me. Like she is independent and she wants to do she's like she's just amazing. She's just amazing and like she wants to make her own decisions. She's older too. I think Aang is not as relatable because he's like a 12-year-old monk. And I don't always agree with the decisions he makes throughout the show. I love him and I love Avatar: Last Airbender. I grew up watching Avatar: Last Airbender.
The disrespect is so real.
What? No, it's not disrespectful. I don't like comparing them. Because I feel like they're so different. Like their struggles are completely different. It's like not even comparable. I just don't relate to Aang as much as I relate to Korra. So that's like my thought. That's why I love her. I also feel like people are so disrespectful. People are so disrespectful to her, and like people are really racist and sexist, and they love all this like the independence, like her directness, her assertiveness, her like pushing boundaries. Like
yeah, I've noticed that people are more
mean. People are mean,
critical of
yes,
of Korra and even Katara.
Yes, I hate how people talk about that.
And they'll be like, how can you say she's a good person when she reacted like this with her mom's killer? And it's like, bro, you remember she's 12, right? She's fucking 12.
They're like both
She's the
children.
mom of the group, but she's fucking 12.
Yeah.
Leave her the hell alone.
Honestly. I hate how it's okay to not like them. I'm not saying you can't not like them, but so many people's criticisms are rooted in racism, in sexism, for Korra homophobia too. And I think that's very frustrating. And like it's not productive. It's not a productive conversation at all when you have to sift through like white supremacy. So, like don't I hate it.
I definitely agree. And you know what? Why don't we make that our first topic? Because that's something that happens a lot in the Doctor Who fandom as well. The fandom will literally like stand behind, like mass genocide. 10 literally committed genocide. I love him, by the way. But lost my train of thought, of course, brain fart, I'm sorry. But they will shit on 13 just because she's a woman. So I guess my first question to y'all is what fandoms have you noticed a lot of sexism and misogyny in? Who want to go first? Oh, Taz got her hand up. Go ahead, Taz. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. And y'all know I don't contain myself to a certain universe. If I find out about a comic book, even if it's brand new, I read it, I go through it. But the same tropes that follow women, especially women of color, and let me point this out, because if you look in certain universes, the women that they have the most problems with are women that are perceived to be of color And in the comic book world, they don't say color. They call us mutants. Think about it. They don't call us women of color. They call us mutants in the comic book world. But we are put into a certain guise. We're put into a certain category. We are there's certain things that are put on us that perpetuate the racist and societal tropes that we as women of color have to live with every day. Whether you're a woman of color, you're a non-binary individual of color, whether you're cisgendered, whether you're transgender, it doesn't matter. This is where we are put. But additionally, whether in the comics, whether the comic books, the comic series on TV as a show, or the comic series movies, please tell me if I'm wrong. Is it not always our responsibility to protect everybody else and to stand up for everybody else?
Well, so here's what I've noticed. With when they, like, even in comics, women can kick ass. It's when they transfer them over to movies and TV shows. And then it's like, nah. Like Storm. Storm's a perfect example in the X-Men series. In the comic books, in the animated series, she could kick ass. Less ass in the animated series, we know. But what about when it got to the big screen? Did we find out? I mean, did we see about Storm being worshipped as a goddess? Did we see Storm literally running, being the queen of Wakanda? No, the fuck we didn't. We saw her being yes sir, no sir to fucking Professor X.
But my thing is, I can take it to you. I can take it to you on a whole different level. And I know that there's somebody else on this panel. If they choose to speak up, they can't. I'm not trying to put somebody on the spot. But I, for lack of a better term, was knighted as Storm. Because when I walk in, I disrupt the atmosphere. Now, people are upset because I'm nobody's yes man. But I was expected to be because I'm a woman. And can we get into the discussion as to why women start off with positions of power and then feel that comic books tell us we need to bow down? Because I'm tired of people going, oh, I want that Harley Quinn Joker love. Harley Quinn was his psychiatrist. She had the power over him.
So I guess my opinion is that it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really show that in comics. It shows that more so in animated series or in movies.
No, it shows it in the comics. It shows it in
you
the
don't
series.
you don't see it nearly as much, and it also depends on which hero you're speaking of.
Oh, it's with Harley and Joker, and also Harley and Poison Ivy. Please don't quote me on this, but I do believe that it's series 54, starting at comics 57, 58, and going down through that series, that you can see where Joker is just intentionally trying to kill Harley, and Harley gets into a relationship with Poison Ivy. And that's where she finds solace. Like I said, do not quote me on this because I'm going from memory. So I might be a series or two off of the number.
Yeah, no, I get that. What I'm gonna say this. This is my personal opinion. I'm not sorry if I fucking offend anyone. I cannot fucking stand Harley Quinn. I can't. She goes from one abusive relationship to another. She She is not someone that women or girls need to be looking up to.
Thank you for saying that.
It's basically, oh, look, my life's so much more fun because I fell in love with a fucking psychopath.
No,
I let him manipulate
thank you for saying that.
She was a
She
powerful,
went from being an
brilliant
educated
person.
woman that was supposed to correct a person.
Yes, exactly. And
to being attached to someone who is a psychopath, to then being attached to someone who is a sociopath. And I recently found out that there is a whole series about her and Poison Ivy.
Oh, there is. And
I'm like,
it's a
Poison Ivy is...
It's a lot
yeah. First
Look,
of all, if I'm wrong,
hold on.
If I read this wrong, y'all tell me if I read this wrong.
Be careful what you say about Poison Ivy, because I'm kind of sort of in love with her. Like,
no,
I'm pretty sure Poison Ivy is the reason for my sexual awakening.
I do have one question that I want to know if I'm wrong for having this question about Poison Ivy. So I want to know if people will agree to just be honest with me. And if you have to tear me to the ground when I ask this question, please do.
Go ahead.
I am a huge lover of Poison Ivy. But from everything that I've read from the comic books, from everything that I've seen from we're not going to get into how old I am. And if y'all ask me on this live, I'm never going to talk to any of y'all again. Now, I will still support y'all and like y'all shit. I'm just not going to talk to y'all in the comments section. Okay.
We won't believe you anyway. We haven't seen the birth certificate anyway.
First of all, we weren't talking about you. Casper, we didn't already had this conversation. Stop. Shut up. Shh. Stop. Shh. First of all, you done made it. Anywho, my question is, when it comes to Poison Ivy, we know that she's an anti-hero. But at what point did people decide that they hated her? Because I still can't hate her. What did she do to you to make you hate her?
I got an answer for that.
That's my question.
I got an answer for that. Wealth privilege. That whole entire series is basically like Poison Ivy, for instance. She just wants to save the environment. She's a domestic terrorist, but I mean, regardless, she just wants to save the environment, right? And we're told to root for the billionaire trust fund kid whose mommy and daddy got offed, and not question why the fuck he's not actually helping the community with his money and just walking around in a bat suit.
Oh shit, you are putting into my head, like, I am now visualizing her as the female Bruce Wayne. Oh my, why did I not see? Oh, because I don't like DC. Never mind, carry on.
Yeah, so I
need to deal with my own opinion. I need to deal with my own comic issues right now. So y'all,
what about y'all? V, Leslie, Tia, what do y'all think about the misogyny and sexism? What have you seen in the nerd community? Who want to go first? Go ahead, Tia.
Well, for me, honestly, I do agree with you, Jessica. I think that you see it a lot more prominent in movies and TV, just because of the fact that let's just be real here, not that many people like to read all the time. Like, I don't read the comic books. I do only watch like the movies, so I can't really get a good depiction of the character just because I haven't read some of the comic books. So sometimes I'll ask my husband, like, hey, what was Storm actually like in the comic books? Because he has read them. And
well,
I've noticed that
just speak from like your experience, just seeing, like, for instance, like, not necessarily how someone's portrayed between the comics and like the movies or the series, you can go ahead and just speak on like what sort of misogyny and sexism you've seen with this character from what you know. I mean, you can just talk about that if you want.
Right. No, that's kind of where I was getting. But no, it's just we mainly see a lot of the woman is powerful, but she's not powerful, if that makes any sense. Like, we never see them as the forefront. We're just now getting female superhero movies by themselves, like Black Widow and stuff. It's been years in the making, and we're just now here. If you get where I'm going with that, like, they've always been the backdrop behind these powerful men, and they've never had their own limelight, and they've never been able to fully be themselves. And I see too much females having less power than men. I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm trying to go with that.
Can I kind of edify on that? And you can chime in and tell me if I'm wrong at any point. Basically, I'm gonna say this: Rogue could body like 99% of the people you see on fucking X-Men, but instead they had her as a whiny little bitch who just really wanted the cure and couldn't control her powers. When really, Rogue did learn how to control her powers. Like Storm could fuck anybody up. She was an Omega level mutant, and yeah, we just see her bring a little wind and lightning. She could literally control anything about the weather. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I feel like what you guys are talking about is something that I've been noticing also in media. Like, I feel like when people talk about like Captain Marvel too, that the way they brought her to the big screen was just not really true to her story in the comics, and they're more likely to be like revolutionary, or like they're more likely to make the women more dynamic in media that not a lot of people see. So like I feel like that with comics, like books, like the women are just written better there. And then we come to the big screen, we go to like more mainstream modes of entertainment, like, you know, the like movies, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we see this shift in how women are like you guys said, the backdrop. I guess the term is nerf. They like nerfed them. Literally, Captain Marvel could have destroyed Thanos in a second, but they made her movie and then took her out. Like,
Yo,
and again, like,
hold on.
Like, what?
Hold on. Did I not say that shit last week? Leslie, can you say that one more fucking time? One more time. Because some crusty ass dude is sleeping in the back and he can't fucking hear you. Can you say that one more time about Captain Marvel real quick?
I will.
Crusty.
She's literally
Crusty
basically the most powerful Avenger. She's literally the most powerful Avenger. They basically made her invincible, and then they took her out. She could have taken out Thanos in a second, and then they just took her out. They didn't write her into Endgame until like the end. And like, what was that? What was that? It was so bad. It was so bad.
Let's not forget. We don't so like the entire series, we didn't understand Captain Marvel's level of power. And then all of a sudden, during this performative girl power scene in fucking Endgame, we see Captain Marvel going toe to toe with the damn gauntlet on Thanos, and we're like, wait,
here's the thing.
She held him down in Infinity.
They never want to give a woman power. This is why they don't want to have a movie that actually mirrors the comic book. Because if you want to have a movie that mirrors the comic book, Endgame wouldn't have been what it was.
It's propaganda. It's all propaganda.
Right. Here's the thing.
Hold on.
Any of my sisters that actually read the comic books, y'all know what the fuck I'm about to say. We know who are the three most, and we're just going to talk about Marvel. We're not even going to go over to DC or Star Wars right now because we can take a pause and go over there. But if I say, who could shut Marvel down right now, and I ask y'all to name 3 people, my sisters, could y'all name 3 men? Be honest with me.
Captain Marvel gonna be at the top of that list if
But
you read the comics.
Hold on,
period.
every blurred this on this panel right now. What 3 men can you name that would shut down Marvel? But I'm sure y'all got 3 women that can shut down Marvel. Am I lying? Tell me I'm lying if I'm lying.
You ain't
Tell me
lying.
I'm
You
lying.
ain't lying. V, what's your opinion on this?
Well, I look at misogyny different, so I think they got misogyny in both the comics and the movies. I mean, you see it more prominent in the movies, but comics have it too because you're depicting every woman either sexually or with a mental health issue. And then when you get to the movies, the ones with the mental health issues are shown as the weak ones that can't control their shit. And the ones that you sexualize in the comics are still sexualized on the big screen. Even worse.
WandaVision.
Exactly.
Hold on. With WandaVision, her breakdowns were very much canon in the comics. Very much canon. What pissed me off about that? I'm gonna say that, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. What pissed me off about that is the fact that they the only person who could bring Wanda out, Scarlet Witch, out of her psychosis was her brother. But y'all done killed him in Age of Ultron for whatever fucking reason.
You gotta be quicker than that.
But people also have to realize that she gained a level of power that she didn't know that she was going to gain when her brother died.
Right. But what I'm saying is that instead they had it was a combination between Agatha and Vision who brought her out of this psychosis. So that continuity error just really bothered the fuck out of me. I understand they probably did that for licensing rights. All I know is they fucked it up.
Yeah, they did fuck it up because Vision didn't bring her out of shit. Vision couldn't even bring himself out of anything.
Vision didn't even realize.
My
he was a
thing is,
Vision.
Can we stop calling him Vision? And he's Jarvis.
No.
He is Jarvis. Can we stop calling him Vision?
He's not.
Can
Jarvis,
we stop calling him anything? And
He's
can we
Jarvis.
stop going back to the Ryan Reynolds movie and saying that, oh, that's Green Lantern? First of all, there is no singular Green Lantern. And can we also take into accountability and finally admit that the OG Green Lantern that everybody looks up to is a motherfucking pedophile who knew that he had groomed a woman, a girl, and then her ring put her in a position where she looked like a grown woman to everybody else. And he knew that she looked like a grown woman to everybody else. And then when there was a series, tell me if I'm wrong, I read this shit, where all of the Green Lanterns had their rings snatched from them, correct?
Right.
So everybody was looking like they were supposed to look. And not only was he still a groomer and a pedophile, he was an abuser. But did nobody step in for her? But I digress. I guess R. Kelly was able to step into the DCU and the MCU while the rest of us wasn't looking.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So I'm gonna say this: Hal Jordan is not my Green Lantern. I mean, yeah, Hal Jordan is not my Green Lantern. Anyhow, next topic. Since we're talking about sexism and misogyny, and V actually brought up this point that women are over sexualized in nerd culture, and when they're not, they are shit on. And I'm sure y'all have noticed that if there's any Whovians out here, it literally, there are people who hate Amy Pond just because she's got attitude, or hated Donna because she was too crass, but had no problem with Clara, who was petite, pretty, and over sexualized, sitting there and literally betraying the doctor. So yeah, let's talk about the tokenizing and over sexualizing of women in nerd culture. They did it, they even did it with Hermione in Harry Potter, didn't they, V?
They did.
Let's
But
talk
here's
about
the
that.
thing, that they're okay with
Hold on,
over-sexual-
Taz. Hold on, Taz. I want to hear what V has to say real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get to you about it. All right.
So just in the movie itself, the character does not look like the character portrayed in the books at all, because she is way too pretty in what the world thinks as pretty to play this character. That's number one. Number two, when we finally see her as an older character, most of her interaction with Ron is more sexualized than even Harry's interaction with Ginny in the movies. But that's just my opinion. So you take the screen off me, that thank you.
I mean, I mean, so what? Like for instance, Hermione is described as having wild hair and basically looking like a nerd. I'm gonna completely skate over the fact that she sounds like that. By the description, she sounds like she is a person of color. I'm gonna skip over that. And let's just talk about the fact that they were so worried about over sexualizing a child because it was a female role that they didn't get shit right. And they cared more about the character's look than they cared about the content, and then wonder why us fucking nerds bitch about the movies. But yeah, and we see it happen with Katara and Korra. They're not wearing skimpy ass outfits, so they get shit on constantly by the fandom. Leslie, you want to talk about that? I know you know more anime than I do. I don't. I know Pokemon and Avatar and Korra.
It's okay. We're working on that. We're working on that.
I know Dragon Ball Z too. I know Dragon Ball Z too. You
And
can't say
I
SpongeBob.
also know historical context, and I know why they're doing what they're doing. So when you get to me, you get to me. Everybody
Yeah,
else,
I would definitely like to hear that, but I think a lot was said. So like I definitely agree that Hermione was over sexualized, and they took out a lot of character depth for her. There was a lot going on in the books that they just took out. The movies were kind of a mess, if we're being honest. As a child,
So,
I could
would
not
you
follow
agree-
them.
Would you agree with this statement? They gave all of Ron's good parts to Hermione, and they gave all of Dobby's good parts to Neville.
Yes.
Neville was amazing in the books. And for
He
all you
was.
Neville fans, I
He
love Neville
was.
too.
He was awesome, and then they made him hot. Like then they made him hot at the end, and then everybody loved him, and
I'm
that was
so
really
damn
weird.
mad about that. I'm
that was
so mad they made him hot.
weird. I literally.
I mean, he made himself hot because that is a fine that is a fine man. Okay. However, comma,
I'm queer as
damn.
shit, and I still would have fucked him.
Right. I don't go for like napkin
I'm a
men.
black woman.
However, that
My
one
Sam
can
Tia will
get
tell
it.
you I'm queer as fuck. I
Ooh.
would have still fucked that man.
I cannot. So, but yeah, they really fucked up the Harry Potter movies. Black Girl Warrior, you need to read the books. Anyhow, Leslie, as you were saying about the anime community,
That part.
It's really not that big of a deal, but it's okay.
it is. It is.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal.
What's not that big of a deal?
Not reading the books. He's not a Harry Potter fan.
Oh Jesus! Oh, you're not a book fan.
It's okay. You're just missing out.
He's not
Like
a Harry
I think
Potter
you're
fan.
really
He's
missing
not
a
a
lot of
Harry Potter fan.
content.
I can understand that, because I'm the type of person that, yes, I admit that I read 6 to 8 books a week, each week. Tia knows this about me. So do other creators on TikTok. This. That's just what I do. I'm not trying to flex on anybody. I will start reading a book, and then somebody will tell me
Nobody
something
cares about how many
that's
books you read. I just don't care about Harry Potter, period.
be quiet while I explain this. Shut the fuck up. And somebody will be
Hold
like, "Oh,
on.
this is
Hold
connected
on.
to this," and I'll be like, "Oh, this is connected to this," and then that's why I end up reading so many books
Taz,
because they're connected. But Casper, we done had these conversations.
Taz,
You're not gonna come at me tonight, Casper.
Taz,
Now you
Taz,
supposed to be
babe.
you supposed to be my TikTok crush, Casper, and you can't come at me like that, Casper.
Taz, babe, smoke a blunt. Calm down. Calm down, babe. Calm down. Oh God, calm down, girl. Calm down. Leslie, you were saying about Katara and Korra, and other anime that I probably don't know.
I think it's in most anime you'll find that there's a lot of sexualization of women, of girls too. It's not even just the women, it's literal children. There's the anime, oh my god, was it Seven Deadly Sins? It's on Netflix and I cannot watch it because it's like assault. I don't care, and they try to like justify it with like, oh, this is like, I think one of the worst parts, they just try justifying a lot of ways through plot. Like, so like in Seven Deadly Sins, it's like, oh, they're soulmates, so it's okay that he like steals her underwear and touches her butt. Like, no, she's like 16, so we're not gonna do that. And then another thing is too, which I hate, this is the worst argument, and it's definitely like racist and ridiculous, but people talk about it in the context of Japan and say, oh, like Japanese people don't care about that. Japanese women, like, it doesn't matter as much to them, the sexism. And I'm like, do you know anything? What are you talking about? Of course, Japanese women talk about how this is a problem in Japan. They constantly talk about it. And it's not hard to find Japanese people on TikTok who can talk about it. Yes, Inuyasha, Moroku. Oh my God. The way he harasses Sango and like children, literal children. Like,
okay, can I ask
I can't. It's too
question
much.
because I have visited Japan and I plan on visiting again. And I feel like unintentionally, and let me repeat, I feel like unintentionally I may have disrespected some people. So do you mind me asking you some questions? Because I'm asking out of genuine wanting to get knowledge.
I don't know. I'm not Japanese. I can't say I can't really say anything
but
about
what
that.
I'm saying, according to what you know, if I ask you a question, like, can you take it from, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Taz, I know some TikTok creators. I can go ahead and point you in their direction. They do a lot of and I know some I
understand
some Japanese
I
creators.
had some questions regarding what she said previously, and
right.
I just wanted to ask some questions regarding that, and I didn't want to make it seem like I was coming from a disrespectful point of view.
Right. Well, for me, I don't think it's,
I just wanted to know from where she was from and what she learned, what she could teach me.
I understand that. I just feel like for time purposes and because
that's fine.
Right. And because even
that's
though
fine.
she stands with anime, it's not her culture. So we can talk about it after we end the broadcast.
No,
sure.
You
good. You good. We can talk about it after the broadcast.
You get where I was trying to come from.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, babe. I know. So what I have noticed as far as over sexualization of women, I spoke about Doctor Who with Clara and Amy Pond. Um, they've done it in Avengers, and I know that y'all can feel it. They made Black Widow eye candy. She literally, she's an assassin. Like everyone that they had on
Here's the thing:
screen.
they made her assassin.
Hold on.
Everybody else that they made sexualized, they took away their ability to be a leader, be an assassin, be anything else. But they did not take away from Black Widow her ability to lead anyone. They only did that to women of color.
Let me finish my point. So with Black Widow, they made her eye candy. Like she is such a highly trained assassin, and she's so good at what she does. With the exception of Hulk, she can like body anybody that they put on screen as the Avengers. So I mean, and you couldn't even get the casting right. You got the person with the least amount of personality and acting ability just because she's got a hot body. I said what I said, and I don't fucking care. So they did it with her. They did it with Captain Marvel, as Leslie said. They've done it with Hermione. They just, what's the word? It's very clear cinematically that they do not see women as heroes. They see women as trinkets. And it's crazy because like we grew up on these things. Like these were the people that we looked up to, you know? And it's kind of, I don't know about y'all. This is for me personally. For me personally, it's like they kind of just shook us back to reality. You don't get to be a superhero. You're a woman. Sit down. Get back in your place. So that's the experience for me. Was it similar for y'all? Tia, what about you? Is that how you seen it?
I was about to say, it's the way you said it. It came out in my brain. That's like you can have some power, but you can't have all of it. You can have a little bit, but you can't overpower us. It's almost as if they're scared that women will do it better. You know, it's almost as if even though they do put these women in a certain type of power, having power, they still will never give it all the way to them. And then when they do, like for example, Phoenix with Jean Grey, they then made her almost too much power. Like women can't control the power that they have.
They literally made it if women have enough power.
Thing.
They literally made it where if women have enough power, the world's gonna fucking end. That's what The Last Stand was. And it's almost like, to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, it's almost like it was like you can have just enough power to stand behind us, to back us up. You can't have enough power to protect us, to to actually be the one that saves the world. We're not going to give you credit because fuck you. That's why.
And that's the most toxic energy ever. It's just so toxic. It almost, it makes it that much worse when we're trying to do this social justice work outside of like these things. And then you hear certain men say, "Oh no, you can't do that." And then they'll sometimes even use some of these characters as examples, as like, hey, they had power, but they didn't overstep their boundaries. And for me, I'm just like, first of all, let's not compare characters to real life here. And second off, that just, the more we push out that rhetoric, the more it's not going to help with any of our causes.
But hold on. Let's compare it to real life real quick. Women have, especially women of color, have always been the ones fighting for men. They've always been the ones out there doing the work. Men just don't like admitting it. So it's like, in reality, we know we're doing the work. Comics and the stuff being brought to the screen is what men see, what the patriarchal society sees, and that's that women don't do anything but except cheerlead, and that's the biggest crock of bullshit I'd have never heard. So Tia, lay this motherfucking theory on me. Lay this theory on me, because I gotta know before we gotta go.
Your little segue was beautiful to what my theory is when it comes to Harry Potter and Slytherin and all this jazz, okay? So hear me out. Voldemort was never actually evil by design. He only became evil through his environment. Now, here's the reason why. When you first see Dumbledore and Tom Riddle meeting for the first time, you see Dumbledore almost kind of like scared when you see how much power Tom Riddle actually has. And so when you start really and by the way, I'm only basing this stuff off of the movies because I was one of those kids who just
Keep going.
I'd much rather have watched the book. Yeah.
Keep going. I'm gonna destroy it anyway, but keep going.
So you see Dumbledore always wanting to not really tell Tom Riddle what he's really capable of. And so then you see that once Tom Riddle, Voldemort, actually realizes how much power he has, he's pissed, not because necessarily he can't use the power, but because no one told him. And so then he goes on this rampage, and then he becomes the villain that you see today. But I think if Dumbledore had just been honest and wasn't scared that he was going to lose his title as the best wizard of all time, as the greatest wizard of all time, he probably would have been able to help Tom Riddle and just stay Tom Riddle, not be Voldemort. That's my theory.
Okay, which you want first? Which you want first? So in canon,
Which part are you going to give me?
In canon, be ready. I see it. In the books, that meeting between Dumbledore and Tom Riddle did not happen that way. Dumbledore actually scared the shit out of Tom by basically figuring out that he was torturing other kids in the orphanage and stealing shit for them from them as trophies. So Dumbledore made his wardrobe start on fire. And told Tom that, and Tom, he was like, I think there's something in your wardrobe. And Tom went ahead and grabbed it. And Dumbledore was like, if you're coming to my school, you need to return this shit. So that right there, just like that's my point I'm going to focus on. V looks like she got something to say, to it as well. V?
If you look at any child through any
hold on, girl. Hold on. Let V go real quick. And then we'll get to you, and then we'll get to Leslie.
If you look at any child through, I don't care what universe you're trying to go through, what book you're trying to go through, hear me out and take a moment to go back and think about what I'm about to tell you. Each one of these stories tell children to have a whimsical moment, to go back into their thoughts. And if their thoughts manifest something pleasant, that means it is what it's supposed to be. That's fucking grooming. Because in these same universes, outside of them talking about children, when they talk about adults, they do not tell adults to do the same fucking thing. They don't tell adults, excuse me, that, oh, what you say you will eat. What you say is how you will dream. What you say is where your comfort will lie. It has nothing to do with that. There's always a fucked up ass adult. And I say this with my whole chest. There's always a fucked up ass adult that's generally, actually, I don't even have to say generally. I've been reading comics since I was born in 1977. I learned how to fully read and be able to decipher English, and that's not even my first language since 1979. So let's just say since 1979, I have been reading shit in English. When a motherfucker decided to tell a child, hey, you should do this, you should do it this way. Tell me I'm wrong about that motherfucker being foul. And can we also talk about the fact that Bruce Wayne done had 50-11 goddamn Robins, and ain't nobody saying shit about him having all them kids in his house.
Nobody talks about the rich guy, Epstein. Anyhow, Dumbledore was foul, but I wouldn't say that he. I wouldn't necessarily agree with you there. He was foul because he didn't tell Harry what was going on. He didn't tell Harry that
I'm
he
not
was a
saying
pickup
that
for
about
slaughter.
him. I'm saying across all of the universes.
Right, but we're talking about Harry right now.
We had issues. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Oh, my bad.
We're talking about this Harry Potter theory that Tia had.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. So I mean, but I definitely get what you're saying. Definitely. V, what was your opinion on the Harry Potter theory? You feel me?
Well, as you can see, as I don't know if y'all can see it, but as you can see, I got my little Quidditch set over here, and I got my little Death Eater mask over here. I am a Slytherin, proudly. But when it comes to Voldemort not being born evil and just growing into his evilness, that is definitely not true. He was born of a love spell that was cast on his muggle father, and he did not like the witch mom in real life. So yeah, no love was made from him. He does not understand love. That part is very true in the movies. Not every Slytherin is evil, though. Prime example is Narcissa. She never joined the Death Eaters, although her husband did.
I think Narcissa was more of an opportunist than a bad person.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And she wanted to please her family.
Exactly. And also, so what a lot of people don't realize is I'm going to say this. Stop being a piece of shit and then being like, oh, it's because I'm a Slytherin. That's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that's not
because
a Slytherin.
Slytherins valued cunning, tradition. It wasn't.
They're resilient.
Yes, they did not. It wasn't. It like Nazi was not a characteristic.
No.
The bitch just wrote him that way. And Snape, regardless of what y'all want to fucking say, Snape was a flawed person, but Snape was not inherently evil. He wasn't, and that's proven.
Always.
But yeah, Voldemort was incapable of love, and that's why he was evil. Leslie, what about you? What's your thoughts on the theory?
So I don't know how to say this. Let me just preface by the fact that I grew up watching the movies, and then I read the books in college. So I read them a couple years ago. And
Okay,
I
so it's a
made
bit
and
of
I
a
made
different perspective. Let's hear it.
so like yeah, so the way I got into Harry Potter was different, and it was like my roommate that really pushed me to read them, and they were better than the movies. I think they were more well rounded, but so I like Tia's theory. I unfortunately missed a part of it because my Wi-Fi got weird and cut me out, and that's why I was gone for a second. But this idea, I feel like it brings into this idea of nature versus nurture. And so if someone is evil, are they evil because their environment, or are they evil because they're inherently, it's an innate characteristic and it's unavoidable? And I feel like our history with Jay, I understand that she wrote him to be like inherently evil, like incapable of love. Um, but I really feel
Yeah,
like
she wrote
she
herself as
wrote
Voldemort. I'll just say that.
literally, and that's like was getting my point, was that like she doesn't know how to, she's the worst. And so I feel like she did a terrible job with this, to an extent, with this with this idea, because she could have had a very clear nature versus nurture. And I really think evil like that is nurtured, and I feel like in our world it is very much nurtured in real life. And I feel like white people, when they see other evil white people, they think, oh, they're just evil, that's not me. And so I feel like that's like how like other white people who like aren't Nazis view Nazis, you know what I'm saying? So like I guess it's a headcanon for me that they like he, and I think Taz was trying to say this, or like this is what I got from what Taz said too, that the adults failed him at every level, and adults tend to fail children in these stories, and that's why the children end up this way.
Oh
I
yeah, but
think
then
Tom Riddle
look at
had no
Harry.
support.
You got to look at
Yeah,
Harry.
that's
I
true.
mean,
So he's
it's
a
the opposites
foil.
of two.
Yeah.
They're two opposites of the spectrum.
Uh-huh. Like
And
Harry was failed too. Yeah, I agree.
exactly, by every single adult. And I'm gonna go even as far as to say by James Potter, because why the fuck would you leave your wand on the couch? That's just me. I hate James Potter. And I want to say
My
this.
question is, wait.
Go ahead.
My question is, why the fuck did they give anybody else the damn secret when it could have been just given to each one of them, and nobody would have fucking been able to share it but them? Dumbledore's the secret keeper to the fucking place.
Why didn't they give it to Dumbledore?
In London.
Dumbledore was the only fucking wizard that Voldemort was afraid of.
Yeah, and
but
if
you're like,
give it
nah.
to somebody else, why would you give it? Why would Peter?
I'm gonna give it to the rat face motherfucker.
The fucking rat.
Y'all changed into.
He's literally a fucking rat.
He was the same motherfucker that Harriet Tubman would have looked straight in his face and said, "Bitch, this is why I carry a gun. I said what I said."
So
said, "Here is my revolver."
Disagree with you can disagree with me all you want, but tell me if he is not the same motherfucker that Harriet Tubman would not have looked at straight in his face and said, "Bitch, Peter, this is why I carry a gun."
Oh yeah, she would have dusted that motherfucker off with that one.
She would have looked at him and pulled out that revolver real quick.
Yeah, she wouldn't even thought twice.
Got the whole army on his ass.
So clearly my FBI agent isn't a fan of my fucking take here, but I'm gonna say what the fuck I gotta say. Kevin, why don't you go get yourself some bugles?
It's
and
not
sit
your
your ass
FBI
down?
agent. It's a white woman named Rachel that is just watching and is like, shit, she's too cute. I can't let her be cuter than me. Let me report.
Rachel, let me live. Just because you age like chewed up shoe leather. Let me live. Let me live. Anyhow.
There we go. There we go.
So for me, James Potter was a dick. He was a horrible person. And I just want to say something real quick. Black Girl Warrior, what's your fucking point? What is your point? Also, they're really not.
Did I miss something?
We come off as assholes.
She said Gryffindors are assholes.
Wait, how are we assholes?
Well,
Am I missing something?
I'm gonna explain that. I'm gonna explain that. We're not assholes. We just come off that way because we have no to little tact in social situations, and we have absolutely no problem standing up and being like, "Fuck you, bitch. That was wrong." Um, and if you read the books, you would know that Fred and George Weasley, even though they were a couple of fuck offs, like they fucked off all the time, they were actually some of the sweetest people. Harry was actually sweet. All of his winnings from the Triwizard tournament went to the twins so they could start their joke shop. I mean, if you read the books, you would know. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll get you a set. It's all right. So yeah, we come off as assholes, but I mean,
Can I say something about that?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
I feel like I think it's not just, I don't know if Gryffindors necessarily come off as assholes. I guess they do, but my whole thing is that like they're constantly seen as the heroes. And it's okay to be brave and have courage and like,
we're not
be
though.
assertive.
We're
No,
not,
I know,
though.
but JK, this is where JK Rowling has failed
Mhm.
in providing any type of nuance to anything in her world. And like, right, Gryffindor good, Slytherin bad, and everybody in between is weird, whatever, they do their thing. And like, I think that is why people get frustrated with Gryffindors and Gryffindor in the movies. Like, I get very frustrated with them because they're, no matter what they do, they tend to be seen as the heroes, and I think
So
that's ridiculous.
a lot of
And
people,
yeah,
I'm gonna say this: a lot of people that claim Gryffindor are really fucking Death Eaters, and they need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down.
But can I tie this into current life and activism?
Well, one quick thing I just want to say, Shania, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, and if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. James Potter was a dick. He literally sought out Snape for no good reason and decided to fucking torture him, like emotionally,
that's my
mentally
friend.
torture him.
That's my friend Shania.
Okay, can you tell her
Shania,
she wrong?
James, you're wrong, Shania. You're wrong.
I am not getting in between friends, so I'm going to leave James out of my synopsis.
Go ahead, Taz.
But because I'm just saying, when I was asked to join this panel and I was asked to give my perspective on a certain level. So I did research to make sure that, hey, just because I have this opinion, let me verify this, that, and the other. I started to notice a couple things. And if somebody has a problem with, I don't care if it's Harry Potter, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, Black Sands, Pokemon. Like, I can go through all of the okay, first of all, I'm not going to put myself out there as that big of a blurred. Even though I'm a grown-ass woman, I'm not going to put myself out there like that. But
my
anyhow,
black ass just admitted to liking Doctor Who on
okay,
the
okay.
internet.
First of all, there's a lot of things that leave me alone. Okay, anywho, I'm trying to educate the people here. It doesn't matter how I got to this education, okay? But let me say something to y'all. There is a point that there are that will hold on to certain characters that will try to shame you because of those characters, because they believe that those characters still have dominion over you in real life. Let me say this again. There are that will tell you that there are characters and they get in their feelings because these characters, even though they were written into these comics at a certain level, these all of a sudden feel inferior. And let's be real, every comic book that you could ever read that has ever been started within the United States has had a political agenda behind it from its inception.
Can you say
Do
that one more
not
time?
let anybody tell you anything fucking different. I
Say it
mean
one
what
more
I
time.
say. I say what I say. I live this. If nobody else on this panel knows what the fuck I'm talking about, my sip tea and note, I moved into where I moved in right now because I can walk to the comic book store. Like, no joke. That's why I moved where I was. I'm not saying do that in your real life. Don't be an adult. Do not do what I did. But and anybody who's followed me for any period of time, you know that I also know the historical context between any and everything that I speak on. So while people are getting pissed that Ariel is black, Ariel never had a color. But y'all not worried about knowing the truth about her quote unquote villain? I'll be more concerned about that. When it came to
this, hold on, I'm just gonna say this. It doesn't matter who it is, people gonna be pissed when a character is black. Look at the way they did Triss from The Witcher. I was look.
Say it.
So
say it, sis.
I do want to come back to your original point, because your original point is the whole point of this shit. Hold on. Your original point is the whole point of this. As Taz said, everything in nerd culture, especially comics and sci-fi, is rooted in political views and social justice. If you don't get that, you're not reading the same shit we are, or you're just that fucking dumb.
Because if you don't know who Magneto is in real life, if you don't know who Professor X is in real life, if you don't know who Venom is in real life, if you don't know who Carnage is in real life, and I'm sorry,
I'll be honest. Hold on. I'll be honest. I don't know who Venom or Carnage is supposed to represent in real life. I don't. I will
tell you off the app, but I'm making this point to say that it is not my job. And I don't know. I know that there are two women on this app, right? Well, two people on this right now that know that I go out of my way to educate people, but I'm over educating people for free. I am saying this publicly. I am over educating you all because you continue to want to be willfully ignorant. You continue to claim that you're a fan of this and you're a fan of that and you're a patriot, and no, you are not. Because if you were a patriot, then you would understand and you would not have cognitive dissonance between Captain America being able to make friends with Thor and then Captain America being able to pick up Mjolnir. And if you don't know who Mjolnir is, I can't help you.
You mean Mew Mew? So yeah, it's not even necessarily what not knowing who represents who. I think the main point of it is if you can't see the real life implications by, I'm going to use X-Men as an example because it's the best.
But see, here's the thing: is there's people who only look at the movies and don't know the history and don't know that X-Men is connected.
You can look at the damn movies too. and still see that mutants were people who were being mistreated. You can still see the systemic oppression that happens to mutants. And or Star Wars, the Empire. Stop fucking saying that that the Empire is social justice warriors. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard. You're talking about an overbearing government who literally tries to silence its people. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely social justice warriors. Are you fucking stupid? Come on now.
Anime too. Anime is the same way.
Right.
It is very much propaganda. It is very much, there are very specific messages they're trying to tell us in anime. And when people tell me, when like Avatar: The Last Airbender, because a lot of people know Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's like based on anime.
There is no war in Bossing Say. I was just about to say
It's
Avatar.
literal.
Yes.
The Fire Nations they're literal fascists. Like, I don't understand. Someone told me that I was like putting my leftist political agenda on it, and I'm like, they're literally colonizing the planet right now, like in the show. Like Aang has to stop them. They're colonizing the planet. Are we watching the show? Are we watching the same show?
But can we
the
also
cognitive dissonance?
Can we also talk about the sexualization of women? Because need I say?
Well,
I'll say two words.
We brought that up.
I will say 2 words. Sailor Moon.
Well, we already brought that up. And I mean, I have definitely noticed that the over sexualization of women is definitely a lot more prominent in anime, but I can't speak on that because I am not 100% educated on that culture. So I'm gonna leave that the fuck alone. So like Leslie was saying, the Fire Nation is literally fascists. The Empire is fascists. The American government are fascists.
Oh, let's not forget that when I put out a video and I was trying to be jokey regarding one of my TikTok brothers, like, hey, I agree with you with everything else but this. And people came at me as if the Fire Nation was a real thing. Like the Fire Nation was really going to come to their house and arrest them.
Yeah. Are you talking about that one where you and Ant, where you stitched Ant's video?
Yeah, all I said was like, hey, bro, I love you. Like, I didn't say anything disparaging, did I?
I was laughing my ass off. I was like,
I thought that it was going to be
Fire
funny.
Nation's coming. Like, I was laughing my ass off.
Right. And I thought that it was going to be funny for people because the way that I did it, I thought that it was going to be funny.
Right. But people don't see it that way. Especially if their mind's so warped that they don't understand the social implications of said shows, comics, movies, altogether. So, but yeah, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And let's talk about gatekeeping. Let's discuss that. That's gonna be fun. So all y'all ladies here, looks like Tia had to go. So thank you, Tia, for coming on. Love you. Everybody in the comments, give Tia their flowers. So since y'all are all women, gatekeeping in the nerd community. I'm looking at y'all's faces and you're just like, yeah. And I'm sure Taz, being the Star Wars expert, has had plenty of fun fucking interactions with the fandom, being a woman and loving Star Wars. But people seem to forget that Carrie fucking Fisher, General Leia Organa, saved those boys' asses. I said what the fuck I said. Taz, why don't you tell me about these fuck boys in the Star Wars fandom? Please, Black woman, let's hear it.
I had to gather myself real quick because when you were saying what you were saying, I was getting my whole life because it's the first time that I've heard somebody say that publicly. So, whew, y'all, my apologies. Can we talk about how, first of all, the whole Star Wars series, the sequels and the prequels, I'm gonna call a spade, and I'm gonna do this real quick so we can get back to the other ladies. Is talking about child abandonment and how a child, male or female, has to deal with their father abandoning them. If you watch the videos, if you watch the movies, if you watch the prequels or the sequels, tell me that I'm motherfucking lying. But every single video, every single movie that comes out deals with another child being abandoned by their father. Tell me I'm lying. I'll wait. Come on back, ladies.
Oh, I'm sorry, Queen. You wanted us to disagree with you? I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Continue.
I mean, did I see something else in these movies that y'all didn't see?
Problematic
I
ass
studied
mamas.
each and every single movie. Shit.
Even let's look at problematic ass moms too.
Even Baby Yoda himself needed somebody from outside of his family to come and save his motherfucking ass. Tell me I'm wrong. Did we forget the Star Wars?
Mando is my future husband.
But hold on.
I just want to.
Are we going to ignore the fact the Star Wars, X-Men, and the Avengers don't overlap? And people need to be saved because their parents didn't give a fuck? Comic book heads.
I mean,
tell me where the overlap didn't happen, because I paid attention to the overlap. I've sat back. I've watched everything. I've looked at everything. I've collected everything. Shit, I've done a fucking series on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter. Y'all see what the fuck is behind me right now?
And I mean,
since everything has overlapped,
I'm sure that you've had plenty of male sapiens, or even people of the male variety, try and tell you that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're a woman. You don't know shit about Star Wars. You're not a real Star Wars fan.
That's why I'm gay as hell.
Look, the fact that I am sexually attracted to men proves that sexuality isn't a choice. Anyhow,
well, it's not a choice. That's just you just ain't been around me yet.
Look, no, I'm not just sexually attracted to men. I'm gonna just say that. But
but baby, so should I come visit you?
Taz, I got a date next weekend. I got a date next weekend, babe. So
I done ordered some shit that is like, but anyway,
Taz trying to do everything in her power to make this not a family friendly channel, y'all. I swear. So like for me, I've heard that, like, you know, I've seen people bullying the fandom, literally bullying, literally bullying, like what is her real name? I don't know her real name, but Rose from the sequel trilogy. They bullied her so horribly just because she was a woman and she saved Finn's ass. I don't know if y'all have been watching, but Finn kind of doesn't know what the fuck he's doing 9 times out of 10. And if you thought that, well, then that's really fucking adorable.
2 things. Can you fill me in?
Yeah. So I was talking about how the Star Wars fandom bullies women. Basically, they bully women like who play on Star Wars, especially if they like Rey or
yeah, and I missed the last 2 shows.
So Rose saved Finn's ass in The Last Jedi. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But where they're going with those, I call them dust runners.
Yeah.
And they literally have to, she like swerves in front of him so that he doesn't, like charge into the cannon of death. They they literally just, they bullied the shit out of her because she saved Finn's ass. Is fucking absolutely ridiculous. They bullied Ray, saying that she couldn't do this, this, and this. She couldn't all of a sudden be a good pilot. Well, nobody ever said she was a bad pilot before. And let's look at Luke and Anakin. They like very suddenly grew into their powers and was able to do extreme shit with little to no training. But y'all want to sit there and call Ray, what's that fucking term? Mary Sue, is it? Mary Sue, yeah. Why? Why? Because she doesn't have something dangling between her legs. Come on now, move the fuck around.
Wait, can I say
Yep.
like, I think there are two interesting ideas being brought. One is that how people treat women who are in the media, and then how women are treated as fans of that media. And it's really crazy how much that happens, not in all the fandoms. Like, women will get death threats for playing roles, for like Captain Marvel. Brie Larson got death threats for playing Captain Marvel. And then and that's Avengers. And then the same thing with anime, where there is this really popular anime called Attack on Titan, and there's this character who does something that people don't like. It's a whole thing. It doesn't matter what that character did, because people started like sending death threats to the voice actress because they didn't like what the character did. And it's like, oh my god, like it's really scary how people will just go and harass like voice actors, will go and harass women like in the industry, and then how they will go and harass fans. Like, so many Black women get harassed on anime TikTok as cosplayers. This character's not Black. Like, why, like, calling them slurs and getting their accounts banned. It's such a fucking problem, and it's a really scary problem because, right, social media doesn't do anything. Nobody does anything. Nobody defended Brie Larson. Like, people really had to rally behind these TikTokers to help them keep their accounts, to protect
It's
them.
amazing that you said that, because that's how I started my account. And I've publicly told people that my goal was to just have 25 people, and I couldn't even get 25 people. And I was told, stop doing this. If you keep doing this, you won't get anything. You'll be banned off of everything on the internet. And I was like, well, shit, that's not what I want to do. Like, that I wasn't trying to be derogatory. So I was like, okay, I will stop doing what I'm doing. But also, it's funny that recently I was told to stop doing things because I did a YouTube live and people gave me a list of characters, and I decided to take this opportunity to take these characters and attach actual historical context to these characters. So each day I was trying to give history behind this character. This wasn't a personal thing. This wasn't a personal attack on anybody. I am currently banned from TikTok. I'm also banned from Instagram, and I'm also banned from Facebook. And it was an idea that a friend gave to me. So My apology
Wow, I'm
to
so sorry.
anybody's. I my apologies to anybody that I was trying to like give history behind something that you said to me.
Well, I mean, if you want to go ahead and put your backup, I know you got a backup TikTok. If you want to go ahead
It's
and put
my name just 77 behind it, but I can't even post on that right now.
Oh Lord. Well, I might not be far behind you because it turns out,
Because
y'all.
my
Hold
thing
on,
is,
hold
I
on,
was
hold
just
on.
trying to give history.
Hold on, Taz. Look, I got my first troll. I got my first troll on my YouTube. Thank you so
Wait,
No, no,
who
no,
much.
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no, no, no,
trolling
no,
you
no,
on
no,
YouTube?
no, no,
Because
no, no,
we're
no,
not
no.
about
Hold
to
on, real
do
quick.
this.
Hold on, I got this. I got this. Hold, I got this. No, 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 no. We're not having that. Hi, how you doing? You're worthless. Thank you. Boom. All right, you're blocked. You're in timeout. You probably put your kids in a sock. Okay. Awesome. We're not going to be dealing with this. Jess, keep cooking. You're doing great. You're
Um,
welcome.
appreciate it. I was just going to say thank you so much for being such an adoring fan. Um, yeah. So, a lot of I've noticed a lot of people they either know the historical context and want to ignore it so that they can misconstrue things to fit their own narrative, or they just don't like being corrected by women. I don't know about y'all, but I have left a lot of my Facebook fan groups for that reason. It's toxic as shit. And you'll literally get like R word threats or, death threats from these men because they're so fragile and hostile. They don't like being corrected, especially if it's by a woman. Um, so, but yeah, it's ridiculous. And to kind of surmise, if you don't see after these two episodes of all of us talking, and also I would love to say that you ladies, amazing perspectives. I even learned some things tonight. And I would love more. I would love to keep learning more from y'all. How did y'all feel about tonight? What did y'all think? Good.
I'm sorry, you know how I'm not myself right now, but it was good.
I know you good. You good.
My thing is, I know that I'm super awkward. And I know that it can take me a minute to get my words together. And I know that because I read and go through all of the comics, all of the sci-fi. Opinions that I come up with may not be the popular opinions, which I'm okay with. But I don't mean to get emotional, but Jess, can I thank you tonight?
You ain't gotta thank me, Queen.
Actually, yes, I do. It's been over a month that I've been in my office and talking to you and the other people on the panel, and I want to individually thank everybody on the panel. Please excuse me if I can't remember everybody's name. I mean, no disrespect to any of you. Please understand. I mean, no disrespect to any of you, but if you don't know me, go back through my content. I have not been in my office, and tonight I was able to do that, and I was able to do it comfortably.
Miss
And I
Taz.
know that you don't know what's going on with me, but I'm sorry.
You good,
Thank
babe.
you.
You good.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for giving me this voice and thank you for giving me this strength, because you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to look out to me. You didn't have to reach out to me. You didn't have to do shit with me. But you did. You saw something in me and you were like, oh shit, whether you felt that my voice was going to be valid or not. And I thank you. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you, Queen. I would just like to say, that strength I didn't give you. That was all your own. That was Storm. That was Storm coming out to play. Okay. We gonna have to exchange numbers or something if you banned on every motherfucking thing.
I can't even message anybody back. So
well, we can talk about it once
hit up
can...
Eb Ready. And I'm saying this publicly. Hey Eb, hey sis, give her my contact information. And even if you have to take a screenshot and send this to her, because I know that she will, I know how protective she is over my information. I'm saying this. Hey Eb Ready, hey sis, give her my contact information. It's okay. I'm banned on everything right now, so I can't send anything to anybody.
I got you. Damn. So I have one more question for y'all. If you could see anybody on this show about any topic at all, who would you like to see? But there's a catch. You got to be able to help make it happen. Who would you like to see on here? Who want to go first? Go ahead, Taz.
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I actually have a dream list for you. Okay.
What? No way.
Okay, I know this will sound like me being a child waiting for Christmas. I get this. And I know that everything that I'm asking for cannot happen right away. But can y'all just bear with me on what I'm saying, okay? Okay? Just sit back, chill, get comfortable, and hear what I'm saying, all right? Now, first of all, I would like for her to do a review on a brand new movie that's coming out that she's never seen. That's the first thing. Second of all, I would like for her to do like an open mic night on her platform, whether people come on and sing, do spoken word, whatever. I want to see that. And I stalk her page, but y'all ain't got to tell people that. Third, I would like for people to send her just questions about current events, and she just make a whole show about it, just giving her perspective on the questions that they give. Fourth, I would like actually for her not to talk about anybody else, but just showcase herself, because I feel like she's a beautiful, intelligent woman that needs to be, spotlighted herself. This is just me. And then 5, and the final point, and then y'all can cut me off. The biggest thing that I would love to see on this platform is once a month for Jess to say what she's learned over the month, because I know she learned so much. That's just me. Y'all can take over the.
Well, you know me. I'm always trying to study. I'm always trying to learn new things. But the question, baby, was who like as a guest, a panelist, somebody that be sitting in the same seat you sitting in, would you like to see on here? But you got to be able to make it happen.
I want you to interview yourself.
You want, okay. That's going to be
because
hard.
my thing is, I'm going to tell you from my perspective, looking at things, I believe that people will learn the most from hearing from you. That is my true perspective. Now, the other ladies on the panel, I don't know how they feel. But for me, I honestly feel that people will learn a whole lot from that, from you bringing yourself on the show and having people interview you. That's just my thought. Just my thought.
That's an interesting take. I never thought about that.
I just, from conversations that you and I have had, and it hasn't been a whole lot of conversations, and me being on your show previously, I personally feel like you have a lot to bring to people, to help people and educate people.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
That's how I feel. So I feel like if you bring anybody onto your show, it should be yourself.
I literally never thought about that. Like never. Like, but I'm awkward as shit. So I didn't even think of myself as an option. But now you got it in my mind.
I'm the shit too, and I get it. But I'm just saying, like, the times that you and I have had conversations, that other times that I've been on your show and had an opportunity to hear you speak, and you're fucking awesome. You have so much to offer people that other people can learn from you. Hell, I've learned from you. And I'm going to say this. I've learned from you. And you're fucking awesome. I don't mean to cuss on your platform. I'm sorry.
Have you fucking met me?
Okay, but okay, I think we've learned enough about each other that I still feel bad when I cuss on other people's shit. Okay, shit, I did it again. Okay, I cuss like a goddamn sailor. But this woman is goddamn fucking amazing. She's incredibly intelligent. She's incredibly compassionate. She can read people and read through situations and navigate you through everything impeccably. And before you know it, you sitting back like, oh, goddamn, I got an amazing friend. And I would love to count you as a friend. I never asked you about this before, so I'm not going to say it because I didn't ask you about this before. But I'm like, shit, what the fuck? Like, this woman is doing the goddamn thing. If she keep contacting me, this motherfucker about to be my wife.
I'm done.
Like, I'm about to buy her. I'm about to give her the second part of my black card. Like, what the fuck? She is out here doing some shit. And Casper, don't you come in here and try to take away from my shine. Shut the fuck up right now. This woman is beautiful and intelligent, and she don't pull no motherfucking punches. She done seen me lose my shit on social media. And she did not call me out in public. Did she send me a text message like, you okay? You good? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I just had a bad day. And she's like, oh, okay. And she went about her motherfucking day and still let me be on her show. She still let me be on her show, even though I had a fucked up day. And this is a woman that you can't really hold a fucking torch to. She's like Helen of Troy.
I'm done.
And she's like the most impeccable intellectual woman that you can find in history.
Taz,
any of y'all in the comments.
Stop it with my dating profile.
No, somebody in the comments tell me I'm anybody on this panel. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Black woman, I love you, but stop running down my dating profile. I told you got a date next week. Damn. I appreciate you though, Queen,
Wait.
and I love you.
First of all, who you trying to date? You know I'm gay as hell.
I got a date. I got a date next weekend. We talk.
Well, just
Leslie,
message me while you out on that date, because if it don't go well,
girl,
baby,
I'm done.
I got a black card. I can come through.
She said I got a black card. I'm done.
And I know where the clit is located at. I'm just saying.
Taz, all right, Leslie, Miss Leslie. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna top it off, top that dating profile that Taz just ran down. But who would you like to see on this show? And the catch is that you got to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, I can't top that. But I have been thinking about this, and there are two creators on TikTok that I think it would be cool to see them as panelists, and because they have very interesting perspectives, and I can send you their ads because I don't remember the name of one of them, but the other one, their name is Jadine. They talk about a lot of different things, like ableism and art and all those things and life, and I think they would offer really great perspectives. And then another one, he's very much a nerd. Like, he knows everything. I think his name is Sociopathic, but he has really great perspectives on like Marvel and DC, and I can't always follow those conversations because I don't know everything about the comics and stuff. But
there's so many timelines in DC and Marvel.
It's too much.
I can't even
I get
keep
so
the shit
lost.
straight. Don't ask me about the new 52. All I know is it's trash. That's all I'm finna say. I want to thank all of the queens that and my dirty girlfriend Tia for showing up on tonight's episode. I think it was a great conversation. I think it was a very valuable conversation.
Wait, did you call my whole wife your girlfriend? We about to fight.
You better talk to Tia.
No, I'm about to talk to you because we all polyamorous. So if you're not ready to,
I ain't got no problem sharing. So I want to thank y'all for coming on tonight. I want to thank everybody in the comments and everybody that was watching. Make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button and that little bell so that way you can catch next week's episode of Breaking the Stigmas of Mental Health. It's time we get back into the serious shit. I had so much fun discussing this with everybody, and it's everybody from Tuesday night. Y'all brought so much to the table, so much education, so many valid opinions.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
I had fun.
And thank you for having me. And for everybody that follows me, I know that I did not start my show at the normal time, but once we wrap here, I will start my show. But I was giving all respect to my friend.
Y'all make sure to go ahead and hop on to Taz's YouTube when you done here.
Yeah, I was giving all respect to my friend, and I was giving all of my attention to her because I felt bad the last time I was on her show and I had to leave early. And tonight I didn't want to do that. And I'm being open and honest about that.
I appreciate that, Queen. I love you. Everybody give your flowers.
Hey, you sexy, so.
Thank you, girl. Everybody give your flowers to my little brother Casper, who's been working the magic behind the screens. He's been amazing. Casper, I love you. Thank you. I know you don't want your flowers and you're going to yell at me as soon as I get off, but I don't care. Anyways, everybody have a good night. And remember, don't be a dick.